Kathy and I have been hiking in the Saguaro National Park near Tucson, Arizona. These are beautiful parks. There's actually an east and a west section, and they're just full of cactus, all kinds of varieties of cactus. Some of them are even in bloom now, which is really a delight to see. There's also miles and miles of hiking trails, which Kathy and I have just loved going around and exploring all the different sites to see. Well, the first day we hiked, maybe 8 or 10 miles, I'm not sure. It was a lot of miles, and actually got pretty hot during the day too as well, and all went well. But later in the day, I started to feel quite a bit of pain in one of my knees. And this is highly unusual. I'm usually just out here trucking away with no problem whatsoever, And this pain started to develop in my knee. And this is not a good sign. We still have days of hiking yet here in front of us. And so I started to pray about it. But I have to be honest with you, one of the first things that happened was when I started feeling all this pain was all kinds of fears and beliefs started flooding my thought from things that I've heard other people say about their knees. As you probably know, I also play a lot of tennis. And I have a lot of tennis friends who often comment about their body, telling me about their pains in their elbows and their knees and other parts and what they do medically and getting shots and different things like that to deal with all the pain that they're experiencing in their extremities. And so this started to come into my mind, and I wonder if I have one of those problems, that my friends have had, and I wonder if this is because of my age, and maybe I'm just wearing out, so this parade of fear started going through my thoughts. I didn't let it happen too long, but I'm just being honest with you. That's what started to happen, and I thought, no, I got to check all that and get back squared away with the truth here and just heal this spiritually. And the next question I asked myself, though, was, what was my motive? What was my motive for this healing? Because my first desire was just for that pain to go away. I didn't like this pain. It didn't feel good. I was limping around, and I just wanted this pain to go away and my knee to be better. And I thought, but that's not good enough of a motive. That could be a selfish motive, just, getting what I want physically. That's not necessarily a good motive that God's going to answer. Mary Baker Eddy actually writes that right motives give pinions to thought and strength and freedom to speech and action. Hiking is a form of action, so right motives would give me the ability to hike around freely. I just needed to figure out what those right motives were. And so as I was sort of semi-limping along the trail and praying at the same time, I thought about my motives for this healing. I thought, okay, this isn't about fixing matter, because in truth, I'm not matter. I'm a spiritual man. I have a spiritual individuality made in the likeness of God, and it's made out of spirit substance which lasts forever. There's no aches or pains in spirit. So my desire here, my right motive, needs to be to glorify God, to understand my truth better about who I am as a child of God, and be out here hiking around, in the truth. And so I continued praying from that point of view, just to understand who I was spiritually and forget about a so-called physical knee and just see how I was expressing God in thought, motive, and action. And so I thought, I'm out expressing love. I'm appreciating nature, appreciating God's beautiful, awesome universe. My motives are not selfish here. They're just to live true to who I am as a child of God. And I also thought about living in the body of spirit. There's just one body, the body of spirit. I thought, the knees of spirit don't ache. They don't wear out. They have a lifetime warranty. They last forever. They're eternal. They're ideas in the mind of God. And they're dependable, reliable, faithful, trustworthy. Those are the only kind of knees I have as a child of God. And I just kept praying down this line of thought, seeing myself from a spiritual point of view, living in spirit, moving in spirit, hiking in spirit, thinking in spirit. And you know what happened? I just forgot about my knee. I honestly just forgot about it and just kept on hiking the rest of the day. We hiked many, many miles that day. And the next day we planned out our day. We went out and hiked many miles. And after 4 or 5 miles in the morning, it suddenly occurred to me that the day before I had had this issue with my knee, and I hadn't had any issue at all. I had hiked all those miles that morning, not a hint of pain or trouble whatsoever. My knees were in perfect shape, and they've been in perfect shape ever since. This is why I just love Christian Science. It doesn't matter where you are. Even if you're out in the wilderness, you have all the help you need to find your healing. Know the truth, and the truth sets you free. And I'm just delighted to be out here still hiking around with complete and total freedom, glorifying God, which is what each of us are designed to do. Truth heals.